Do you have any questions about when to use some and any? I have some helpful tips for you today. Hey there, I'm Emma from mmmEnglish. Now, these two words, they're very common English words that are often confused and misused by English learners. And although they seem to have very similar meanings, they're not often interchangeable. So it's important to know which word to use and when to use it. In this video, I'm going to clear up some of that confusion so that you can avoid making those mistakes in the future. We'll go through the meaning of some and any, the general uses, and some of the exceptions to the rules. So make sure you keep paying attention throughout the video. There's going to be a quiz at the end. Now, if you're not a subscriber yet, then click that button just down there and become one. You can also use the tools down there to slow down the video speed in case I'm speaking a little too quickly for you. You can control that right down there. The first thing you need to know is that we use some and any before plural and uncountable nouns. And we do it to talk about a certain number or amount of something when we don't actually know exactly how much or how many of that thing we want. So I need to buy some bread. I'm saying that I need to buy an amount of bread, but I'm not being specific. I'm not saying exactly what number or amount I need. Is there any pasta left? Now again, we want to know if there's pasta left, but I don't really care about the specific amount. I just want to know if there is an amount. Now, because some and any are both used in quite similar situations, it's often difficult to know which one you should use, right? So we're going to go over the general grammar rules to help you decide which one to use, but definitely stick around until the end of this lesson. There are some exceptions to these rules that you need to know, and I'll get to those in a little bit. But later on, I've also got a quiz that's going to help you to test what you've learned in this lesson. So as a general rule, we use some with positive or affirmative sentences. I left some soap for you in the kitchen. Please treat us with some respect. He said he would get the cat some food from the shop. Now we use any with negative sentences and questions. Okay? Did you leave any soap for me? Do you have any respect for us? Did you get the cat any food from the shop? So that's pretty simple, right? There are some clear rules there. But like many things in English, there are several exceptions to this rule as well. Now this is where the fun starts. All right, take a look at this question. Can you pick up some coffee on your way home? We use some. And it's a question. Now this is an exception. We use some in questions when you're pretty sure that the answer will be yes. I'm asking you to pick up coffee because I know there's a high probability or a strong chance that you'll say yes, that you will buy the coffee. Now often questions that we are expecting the answer to be yes are offers or requests, okay? Would you like some milk in your coffee? All right, I'm being polite. I'm asking you, but I know that you probably want milk in your coffee. Now, if I said, would you like any milk in your coffee? I'm asking because I actually don't really know if you have milk in your coffee or not. Do you need me to lend you some money? Now, I already know that you need money and I'm expecting you to say yes. But if I said, do you need me to lend you any money? I'm asking because honestly, I don't really know the answer. Now, this isn't the only exception, okay? We have a couple more important ones to get through, but that one is an important one to remember. All right, so that was a very subtle difference. Now let's move on to the second exception. Before I said that any is used in negative sentences and not positive ones, right? You remember? But you can use any in an affirmative sentence or a positive sentence if the sentence has a negative feeling. Now, positive sentences that include negative feelings usually have words like hardly, never, rarely, and without in them. It's silly to go traveling without any money in the bank. Now, this sentence is a positive structure, but we're talking about the lack of money, which is a negative feeling or a negative idea. That's what we're talking about. He hardly has any hair left. Now, there's one last situation where any can be used in an affirmative sentence. Now, this is a special exception because it's also the only time that you might see any or some being used with a singular countable noun. That's a general rule that we're breaking here. We can use any in an affirmative sentence and commonly with a singular countable noun as a way to say it doesn't matter which one, all right? You can take any road going south. It doesn't matter which road you take, it's not important. You can take any of them. Grab any shirt that you want. It's not important which shirt you take. You can have whichever one you want. You can fly with any company. It doesn't matter which one. Now that we've been through some examples, you really shouldn't have any problem with this little quiz now, okay? Let's do the first one together. All you need to do is choose the correct word, any or some. Do you have kids? Could be either, but let's go with any because any is used in a question, especially one that you don't know the answer to, and usually you're asking because you don't know. Now, if I was asking someone who I thought had kids, then I'd probably use a question tag and I'd say, you have some kids, don't you? Next one. Can I offer you more dessert? Now let's imagine that the person we're asking is a huge fan of dessert and always wants more. Right? So we probably can assume that the answer will be yes, and it's an offer. So some is the correct answer here. You can take apple from the basket. Now this is a singular countable noun here. It's a clue. So it would have to be any. I don't have need for that. Any or some? You got it. It's any, right? Because any is used in negative sentences. Now for the last one, let's go with I hardly have time to read books. Now, even though this is an affirmative sentence, we're using hardly, which gives us a negative feeling, right? So we would use any. So how did you go? Did you get any of them wrong? Tell me in the comments below if you did, and let me know if you've got any questions about them. Try to write some example sentences of your own so that I can come down and check them out. The English language is full of confusing word pairs, just like these ones, that are very similar in meaning, but they're not exactly the same. And I've got a whole playlist of those lessons right here. So if you want to keep going with these types of lessons, you can go check that one out. And if you've got a specific pair of words that are particularly confusing for you, then let me know in the comments below. I'll try and make a lesson about it really soon. But for now, let's go check out this lesson together.